Hi, I'm Dee, and welcome to Coffee with Dee. As usual, grab your coffee and let's start with this. I want to finalize with this story, Victoria and Alex. And I think we deserve to hear the finale and what's going on in Victoria's life. So, let me go straight to the point. So, after the red flags that Victoria had witnessed or, seen, and it got to a point whereby she stopped talking or saying much. And I think she was, from my own perspective, I think she was entering to this phase of, hate-love relationship, whereby you hate the person you're with, but you also love them, if that makes sense. So Victoria was pregnant, as you remember, so she gave birth. And can you imagine, she's the one who catered for everything, and she when you're in your hospital bed, you're giving birth to a child and you're being told to pay for everything, and she never told anyone. And she's lucky that she had a very good job that was supporting her, and she was sure she would come out of this safe. So she had a baby, went home, and then for Alex everything was okay. She was just, for Alex there was nothing that had changed. Victoria was taking care of everything, and for him he was just taking care of himself. And when I'm talking of himself, it's not food and anything, it's for him going out to party with his friends. So Victoria was noticing all these things, and she started feeling hatred for Alex and treating Alex, in a very cold fashion. Like, it's like her emotions were completely shut. Her main focus was now on the child. So she was feeling like she's living with somebody who's a roommate who's not paying for where they live, a roommate who's not. She was even feeling like she was a landlady, at some point, but she's like, "Ooh, I'm like a caretaker because I'm not getting the money. I'm just, looking after this guy. I'm just giving accommodation to this guy, and food and anything that he needs. His clothes are washed. Everything is always done for him." So she really got to a point whereby hatred started filling her, and it was consuming her in a great way. She was unhappy. She wasn't doing the things that she used to do. She started, being bedridden, staying at home. She doesn't feel like doing anything, nothing, moving around. It was like she's being forced to. Even work started being affected by this atmosphere, until friends and family started pointing it out. That's when she was like, you know what, I can't do this. So for a number of months, she had been asking Alex to, you need to move out. You need to figure yourself out. You still are not in tune with a family setting of whereby you as a man need to take responsibility. And I will support you as a woman, but not me as a woman leading you like a man. And I think most women, from my perspective, like a man who can lead a home, a man who will suggest things, a man will be like, even if they're not financially buoyant, they're not financially well off, a woman wants a man who will always lead, a man who will always, suggest things, a man who will always try and make their home life better. And especially now that Victoria was having a child, this was the most important thing that she was missing, a man to lead her. And it got to a point of whereby Alex was telling her, like he feels like she's the man, but she was wondering, if you're not leading, should I let my home, like my home drop? I'm doing this because I'm not seeing any leader in this setting of ours. And it got to a point, after months of asking him to move out, she set an ultimatum, and she told him, you need to move out, you need to figure out yourself. And if in the future we get together, it will be because you know what you want and you know what you're doing, and I will not be taking second, like I won't be, I will not be going with your standards. You need to measure up to my standards, or we meet each other halfway. So that's how things progressed. And one day Alex just decided, you know what, she's been asking me to move on, and he moved out. And the funny thing is that Alex was blaming Victoria for everything, telling Victoria, you didn't treat me like a man, you always looked down upon me because I was not financially well. And it got to a point where Victoria shut down, lost communication with him at all, because whenever Alex used to reach out, it was just to complain. And imagine, he's not even checking in on their baby. So Victoria decided to cut all lines of communication, and that was it. And Victoria started to rebuild her life with her child. She started from ground zero. So what she says right now, she's moved from the survival stage to her figuring out herself. So she's gone back to the gym, she's gone back to full work mode. Her son is being taken care of by herself and somebody, and some family members whenever they can. And I don't know where Alex is, and that's the funny thing about this story, whereby you, a man who used to cry that he'll miss his child, he doesn't want to break up because of a child. He's not even checking in on the child that he was crying about, and that's the sad part of it. And Victoria has not closed all channels of communication. She just closed that channel of, you can't blame me all the time. You need to take some responsibility yourself, right now Victoria is happy. Sometimes she misses Alex because I think what she misses is the future they would have had, and the future she had in her head. She misses that, and she usually tells me she feels the need to reach out to him, but she doesn't, because it's, whenever she feels like that, it's usually once in a while. It's not all the time, and she's okay with letting that feeling pass, because she knows she's doing something better for their child, and she's focused on her child, her work, her family. She's trying to reconnect with everybody, and at the end of the day, this story is not about bashing anyone. It's just about, whatever situation you're in, you can always come out of it. And if a situation is not pleasant to you and it's hurt you for a while, and you can't change circumstances, and you've you've fought, but that fighting has not yielded anything. You fought for the relationship, you fought for everything you thought this relationship will be. Sometimes it's good to let things go, and it doesn't mean we're bad people, or you're a bad person, but it's just love yourself a little. And it's not easy. It's never easy, especially if something involves two people. It hurts you. I don't even know how to say it, but a loss is a loss, and you'll always feel it. And the best way is to just sometimes let things go, and see what God has planned for you, or what the future has in for you. And you know what? Again, choose peace. Choose yourself. This is Kofi with G. I love you guys. I'll get you guys more stories, and we'll share. And please subscribe and like and comment. Let me know what you think. And if you have a story to share, please share it with me. A story that you want the whole world to know. Share with me, and I'll share, with your permission. Thank you. Bye bye. Love you all.